Welcome back, future explorers. We are on lesson 4 of animals of the East African savanna habitat. So today we're going to be looking at African animals, and I know each of you know several of those, like the elephant and the giraffe and the zebra. We all love looking at those animals at the zoo, don't we? Well, today we're going to go to the place where they live, their habitat. But before we get started in the lesson, let's look at some vocabulary words that we're going to see throughout our lesson today. You are going to see the word coexist. Coexist means to live peacefully together at the same time or in the same place. Example, the cat and dog were able to coexist in my grandmother's house. Coexist. The word hardy, able to survive in unfavorable or harsh conditions. Example, cacti are hardy plants, able to survive the harsh conditions of the desert. Hardy. Ooh, the word predator, animals that hunt and eat other animals. Example, lions are large predators that hunt other animals living in a savanna. Predator. Then you have the word prey, an animal that is hunted by other animals. Example, many grasshoppers hide in the grass of the savanna so they do not become prey to the birds flying overhead. Prey. And our last vocab word is prickly, meaning small and sharp. Example, the cactus spines are prickly. Prickly. So you will see those words throughout our lesson today. All right, so today we're going to be learning about another type of habitat called a grassland habitat. And there are many grassland habitats in the world, but you all will be learning about one particular one, the East African savanna. And the word savanna is another word for grassland. So I'm going to share my screen with you. All right. I'm sure you can see me on the side, but ignore me, and I just want you to focus on the map here. Now, you see East African savanna highlighted right here in yellow, and it is on the coast of Africa. Now remember, we live across the Atlantic Ocean over here in North America, okay? And the Arctic is up above us here in the white area, but we live here in North America. But today our journey takes us to Africa, to the savanna, right here in the yellow. All right, so today we're going to listen to find out how the East African savanna may be the same and or different from the Arctic and the Sonoran Desert habitats. Rattenborough, your intrepid adventurer here to show you something a little different. Intrepid means fearless. We've been talking about habitats, the place where plants and animals live, and we've spent time in 3 of the most extreme habitats in the world: the freezing Arctic tundra, the Arctic Ocean, and the scorching Sonoran Desert. Now, I've come to a habitat that should be of great interest to you. Some of the most amazing animals in the world live here. Welcome to the East African savanna. Savanna is another name for a grassland, a wide open, vast stretch of grass-covered land. You know you're in a grassland when there's a lot of grass around you, but not many trees or bushes. The East African savanna has very warm weather all year round. However, it only has 2 seasons, the rainy summer and the dry winter. The plants and animals that live here have had to adapt to these 2 very different kinds of weather in the summer and winter. Luckily, I brought my umbrella in case it starts to pour. Boy, I can barely see a thing in all this grass. There's so much of it, and as the name grassland suggests, grass is the most important plant growing in the savanna. The grasses are very hardy, which means they can survive the tough conditions of their habitat. Long spells of dry, hot weather, as well as heavy rainfall and flooding, the grass has adapted to these conditions by growing very deep roots. Even if the grass above ground is destroyed, the roots underground survive and the grass can grow back. This grass grows very quickly, as much as an inch per day. Now, when I think about an inch, I think between knuckle to knuckle. That is considered an inch. The grass in your backyard might take a whole week to grow an inch. What do you think grows faster, the grass in the savanna or in your backyard? Yep, you're right, the savanna. Yikes, I'm surrounded by hooves. That's because grass is food for many of the larger animals like elephants, zebras, gazelles, and antelope. They chew on grass all day long. I don't think grass is all that tasty, to tell you the truth, but these animals depend on the nutrients in the grass to survive. It's all they need to eat. It would be that because so many animals eat the grass in the savanna every day. There wouldn't be very much grass left after a while. But remember that this grass grows back very quickly, so there's usually plenty for the different herbivores like zebras and antelopes to eat. Now, grass is not the only important source of food in the savanna. Many animals get their meals from the acacia tree. Giraffes with their long necks and tongues are able to eat twigs and leaves from the top of the acacia. Not only are giraffes' tongues long, they are also very tough. It is a good thing too, because the twigs of the acacia tree are covered with sharp thorns that the giraffes eat along with the twigs and leaves. Now, which word best describes giraffes because they eat plants like the acacia tree? A herbivore. Good. Elephants eat grass and they like acacias too. They rest in the acacia shade and eat the acacia leaves, branches, and seeds. They even like to strip off the bark and chew on it. So elephants eat grass and parts of the acacia tree. So are elephants carnivores, herbivores, or omnivores? They're herbivores. Good. Oh, there's the acacia tree. I think this acacia tree might be great to climb and get a better look in the savanna. But don't forget that it's covered in prickly thorns. Ouch! The thorns on the acacia tree are small and very sharp. Acacias have adapted well to their habitat. Acacias have small leaves that don't dry out as quickly as larger leaves would in the dry, hot months. The roots of an acacia grow very deep into the ground, which allows them to collect water from far underground when there's not much rainfall. And their sharp thorns help keep some animals from eating too many of the branches. These trees are right at home in this habitat. Animals living in the savanna have adapted to their habitat in many ways. Some animals, like this giraffe, have long, powerful legs so that they can quickly run away from predators, animals that hunt and kill other animals. Their long legs also help them travel long distances searching for food. Can you imagine a rat like me keeping up with a giraffe or a zebra? Not a chance. Now, there's a little bird that's been sitting on this giraffe the whole time I've been watching. This is the oxpecker. Oxpeckers perch on the backs of large animals. This oxpecker will use its sharp claws to hold on to the giraffe, who will hardly even know it's there. The giraffe and the oxpecker coexist, meaning when two animals coexist, they live together peacefully. The oxpecker feeds on the fleas and ticks living on the giraffe's body and warns the giraffe of any predators that might be trying to sneak up on it. In turn, the giraffe will let the oxpecker live on its back and provide the oxpecker food, fleas and ticks, shelter, and protection from predators. The oxpecker will spend most of its life on the giraffe's back. What a partnership! So here I am back in all this tall grass, and I bet you recognize that black and white stripe of the zebra I just run into. Zebras are specially adapted to living in the savanna. They have strong, long legs that make them very good at outrunning lions and other predators, and the stripes on the zebra's legs and body doesn't it just make it look pretty? They camouflage the zebra against the grass so that predators can't see it. Zebras eat the grass on the savanna, so they are herbivores. So what does camouflage mean? It's where you blend in with your surroundings, isn't it? Over there, I can see the largest land animal in the world. Can you guess what it is? You're right. The African elephant is the biggest animal in the world and eats up to 400 pounds of trees and grasses every day. That's about the same amount as the weight of 9 first graders. Now, African elephants are adapted to the hot weather in the savanna. They have huge ears that they flap like fans to stay cool and keep away bugs. They also have thick skin that protects them from branches and thorns. Do you see the trunk on that elephant? An elephant uses its trunk for all sorts of things. The trunk is, of course, the elephant's nose for breathing and smelling, but the trunk is also used like a hand for lifting things, gathering food, even holding on to other elephants' tails. Baby elephants or calves use their trunk to grasp other elephants' tails to keep them from wandering away from the rest of the herd and getting lost. Elephants also use their trunks to drink water. They suck up the water with their trunks and then put the water from the trunk into their mouth. They also use their trunks like a hose for showers and playtime. These animals are lions. Lions live in groups called prides. The females or lionesses do most of the hunting. They are carnivores that hunt zebras, elephants, and all kinds of other savanna animals. Most groups of lions have just 1 or 2 male lions. The male lion is huge and incredibly strong. It has a furry mane, powerful jaw, and fearsome claws. Unless this lion meets a stronger lion, no other animal in the savanna habitat can match the lion's strength and power. Animals that are hunted by predators are called prey. One of lions' favorite prey to hunt and eat are zebras. Zebras try to use the camouflage of their stripes to hide in the grasses of the savanna so the lions will not see them. Ooh, up at the top of this tree, I can see and hear birds that are waiting for the lions to finish eating so they can have dinner. These birds are called vultures. A vulture is a scavenger, which, as you've learned, is an animal that eats leftovers. Now, all of the animals and plants you've learned about so far are part of something we call a food chain, which is illustrated in this image. What do you see at the bottom of this picture? So if you look down here, we see the grasses, don't we? All right. The arrow points from the savanna grass to the zebra because the zebra eats the grass. The next arrow points from the zebra to the lion because you guessed it, the lion eats the zebra. The next picture after the lion is a picture of the soil because eventually the lion dies and its body becomes part of the soil. Then more grass grows out of that soil and then starts the food chain all over again. Next, I think we should head to a habitat that's a bit closer to home and explore some plants and animals that might look quite familiar to us. But for now, I'm going to go check out more wildlife. I'll see you later. So let me stop sharing here. Great, welcome back. Okay, so let's think about the East African savanna. What was it like? Well, it has a dry season and a rainy season and lots of grasses. It had the acacia trees, that's right, and lots of different animals there too, right? Yes. So how is the savanna the same or different from the Arctic or the desert? Well, let's think about this. The savanna is warm like the desert, but it's different from the Arctic because the Arctic is cold, isn't it? And then you have dirt and sandiness everywhere in the savanna and a desert, whereas in the Arctic you have snow and ice. You have different animals that live in different places because of what they've adapted their lives to be like. How would you categorize the following animals like a giraffe, elephant, and zebra? Are they carnivores, omnivores, or herbivores? They're herbivores. Good. Now, zebras have adapted to living on the savanna. How? They have that stripes for camouflage. Isn't that right? And they have long legs for running fast from their predators. What about elephants? How have they adapted to living on the savanna? They have that thick skin, so that way if they brush up against something, it doesn't bother them too bad. And then their thick skin also protects them from the sun and the heat. And they have the big ears that flap to keep them cool. Good. What about giraffes? How do they adapt to the savanna? Well, they have the long necks, they have a long, tough tongue, and they have long legs to get away also. So how do the oxpecker and the giraffe coexist? Well, the oxpecker eats the fleas and ticks off the giraffe and also tells it if something's trying to sneak up on it, where the giraffe offers shelter for the oxpecker. Good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Until tomorrow, adventurers. See you then.